Hey everyone, it's a Phoam Ranger here with Phoam Ranger Sports. This is a bit of catching up with men's basketball, recapping their games against San Diego State at Grand Canyon. On Saturday 3rd, they lost on the road at San Diego State, 107 to 110 in triple overtime. I'm knowing the game mean the guest officiating, even as mentioned a little bit by Liam Rice in the view, was a little questionable. And even BJ Rains and others who were covering the game said that the game was way bigger than the officials could handle in this one. Because there were lots of reportedly bad calls in this. But still, Boise State found a way to force overtime and only lose by 3. Because once again, in the start of this conference season, they start really cold and really sluggish from on the offensive side. One point in the first half, they were down 24 points. They ultimately went half down 29-50, but they completely reversed that in the second half, win in the second half 50-29 to force overtime. Both teams scored 14 points in the first overtime, 5 in the second, and unfortunately, San Diego State got 3 points more in the third overtime, 12-9 to win by the final score in triple overtime, 110-107. Sounds like it's been a bit of a recurring theme this year for San Diego State that they would go into the halftime with a significant lead, especially at home. But second half defense and offense fell a part of it and would allow teams to get back in the game and force overtime. In non-conference play, Troy did beat them in either double or triple overtime. And Boise State had some opportunities, I think, at the end of regulation. Dylan Andrews, it was either in regulation or at the end of first overtime, Dylan Andrews had a shot, go halfway down but kick out. I think at the end of regulation, San Diego State tried a shot that didn't go in. And the first overtime Dylan Andrews shot went halfway, but they kicked out. In the second overtime again, Broncos were up 3, decided not to foul after turning the ball over, which allowed BJ Davis to hit a game-time 3 to force the third overtime. This game, Broncos had 2 opportunities to win it, same as San Diego State. And ultimately, San Diego State still won this game. The game was played in front of 10,295 fans. Again, this is among the most points scored by the Broncos in a conference game and in a regular season game. Again, this game did go to 5 overtimes to make that happen, though. At the end of regulation was 79-79. Jen Buchanan had a hell of a game. Season high 29 points in 42 minutes played. 10 of 13 from the floor. 4 of 6 of 3 and 5 of 6 from charity stripe. 5 boards, 3 fouls, 3 turnovers. In the middle, had a season high 25 points in 51 minutes played. 9-19 from the floor. Would love to see him be a little more efficient. In games, he shoots a ball a considerable amount. 2 of 7 for 3 and 5 of 6 from charity stripe. 1 offense, 3 total boards, 3 fouls, 1 assist, 3 steals. Dylan Andrews in this game had 16 points, mainly from the free throw line. 47 minutes played. An abysmal 3 of 17 from the floor. An atrocious 2 of 11 from beyond the arc. Also had 6 boards, 6 assists, 3 turnovers. Drew Fielder had 39 minutes, 6 of 12 from the floor, 3 of 7 for 3 and 1 of 2 from charity stripe, 2 offensive, 9 total boards, 1 foul, 1 assist, 4 turnovers, and 16 points scored. And R.J. Keenan as a starter, 15 minutes, 0 for 1 from the floor, which was a 3-point attempt, 2 of 2 from charity stripe, 1 offensive, 2 total boards, 2 fouls, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 2 steals, and 2 points scored. On the bench, A.J. Neto, 32 minutes played, 3 of 6 from the floor, 3 of 5 from 3 of 4 for charity stripe, 2 boards. He did foul out again. Part of that was a bit of a questionable call reportedly because on that 5th foul, BJ and others say that maybe wasn't really fouling him, that the ball handler was already losing control. He no longer really had full player control with the ball. But that Neto was called for the 5th foul, the real soft ticky-tack foul. I think that was in first or second overtime. He also had 2 assists, 2 turnovers, and 13 points. Dominic Perlin, 22 minutes played, 1 of 1 from the floor, 2 of 3 from the charity stripe for offensive, 8 total boards, 4 fouls, 1 block, 1 steal, and 4 points. Pearson Carmichael, 14 minutes. Rough game for him offensively. 1 assist from the floor, 0 for 3 from 3, 2 of 3 from charity stripe, 5 boards, 3 fouls, 3 turnovers, and 2 points scored. Well, 2 offensive, 5 total boards, I should say. I might have mentioned in his free throws. Spencer Aarons in the game, 11 minutes. 0 for 3 from the floor, 0 for 2 for 3. 1 board, 2 fouls. Phoam, 2 minutes. And an assist in the game. Broncos had 13 offensive, 45 total boards. 23 fouls, 18 assists, 17 turnovers, 1 block shot, and 6 steals. First half, they were 10 of 30 from the floor for 33%, 4 of 19 from beyond the arc for 21%, 5 of 6 from the charity stripe for 83%. Second half, 18 of 32 for 56%, 8 of 14 from beyond the arc for 57%, and 6 of 9 from charity stripe for 67%. And then in regulation, the Broncos were 12 of 31, which is still a heck of a lot of free or 3-pointers to be attempting. First overtime, they're 2 of 4 from the floor, 0 from 3 and 10 of 10 for charity stripe. Second overtime, they're a paltry 1 of 7 from the floor for 14%, 1 of 4 from beyond the arc, and 2 of 2 from charity stripe. And at the decisive third overtime, they're 2 of 6 from the floor, 1 of 4 from 3 and 4 of 4 from charity stripe. They finished overall 33 of 79 for 42%, 14 of 42 for 33% for 3, and 27 to 31 for 87% from the charity stripe. Lee Rice in this game was teed up in the first half. Was really too thrilled with the performance of the team and some of the officiating as well. Tried to spark a rally, which ultimately happened in the second half. 32 points of paint, 19 points off Aztec turnovers, 9 second chance points, 8 fast break points, and 19 bench points. There were 10 ties and 13 lead changes in the game. For the Aztecs, L.C. Harrington had 31 minutes, 7 of 11 from the floor, 1 of 3 for 3 and 5 of 6 for charity stripe, 3 boards, 4 fouls, 1 assist, 1 steal, 20 points. No 39, Reese Dixon Waters, 45 minutes played, 5 of 12 from the floor, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, and 3 of 4 from charity stripe. 1 offensive, 5 total boards, 4 fouls, 6 assists, 3 turnovers, 16 points. Miles Bird, 39 minutes played, 4 of 11 from the floor, 1 of 4 for 3 and 4 of 6 for charity stripe, 5 boards, 3 fouls, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 blocks, 3 steals, 13 points. Miles Heidi, 32 minutes played, 4 of 6 from the floor, 0 for 3 from charity stripe, 2 offensive, 6 total boards, 3 fouls, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 2 steals, and 8 points. And Jeremiah Oden, as starter, 29 minutes, 3 of 6 on the floor, 1 of 4 for 3, 3 offensive, 4 total fouls. 3 boards, 4 fouls, 1 assist, 1 turnover, block shot, and 7 points. Of note, reportedly in the overtime, one of the fouls that he committed was attributed to a different player. I mean that technically he should have fouled out in the game in overtime, and he did hit a clutch 3 in the third overtime that helped them win. It was either the 3 before, the 3 that won the game for San Diego State. It was either him or L.C. Harrington and Reese Dixon Waters, but I think it was Oden. I have to look at the tweets by B.J. Rains about it. Because again, one of the fouls that was by him was roundly attributed to a teammate of his, according to B.J. and others tweeting about the game. So I mean that he technically played with 5 fouls in third overtime and did hit a 3 in the third overtime. Then from the bench, B.J. Davis, 40 minutes. He was 6 of 15 from the floor, 3 of 6 from 3 and 7-9 from charity stripe, 2 offensive, 9, 11 total boards, 2 fouls, 6 assists, 2 turnovers, 22 points. He had a double-double to lead the Aztecs. For Compton, 23 minutes, 5 of 6 from the floor, 1 of 2 from charity stripe, 1 board, 4 fouls, 2 turnovers, 1 block shot, and 11 points. Magun Guath, 15 minutes played, 3 of 3 from charity stripe, or 3 of 3 overall, 2 of 2 from 3, and 1 of 2 from charity stripe. 3 fouls, 2 turnovers, and 9 points scored. Taj Jagorville, 14 minutes played, 2 of 3 from the floor, 1 board, 2 fouls, 1 assist, 4 points. And Sean Naiman Jr., 7 minutes played, 3 assists, 1 turnover. Aztecs had 8 offensive boards, 38 total boards, 29 fouls, 21 assists, 14 turnovers, 4 block shots, and 10 steals. First half, the Aztecs were hot, 19 of 29 for 66% overall, 5-9 for 3 for 56%, and 7-10 for 30 stripe. Second half, they're a little cooler, 10 of 26 for 39%, 3 of 9 from beyond the arc, and 6 of 8 for 30 stripe, 30 at half, or first overtime, 4 of 8 from the floor, 2 of 3 for 3, 4 of 7 for 30 stripe, 57%. OT2, 2 of 4 from the floor, 0 from 3, 1 of 2 from 30 stripe, third overtime, 4 of 6 from the floor, 1 of 2 for 3, 3 of 5 for 30 stripe. Overall, they're 39 of 73 for 53% overall. Then 24 for 46% for 3, and 21-32 for 66% from 30 stripe. We had 50 points of paint, 21 points off Bronco turnovers, 14 sick chance points, 9 fast break points, and 46 points from the bench. They won the red times that Boise State loses game where they out-rebound an opponent. Again, first half, the Broncos played pretty abysmally and again got down by as many as 24 points. Showed a great battle, especially against the adversity of like some officiating that wasn't up to par for that level of game. Again, I think both fan bases and a lot of media people watching the games probably had similar views. Correction, it was in the first overtime that Broncos were up 6. Aztecs got a 3. Broncos turned over with like 10 seconds left, and Broncos weren't really prepared for that situation. Again, up 3 with like less than 30 seconds left. You foul up 3 before a shot is attempted, so you force them to have to make the first, miss a second, and have the opponent have to make another shot to tie it up or to take the lead versus to not foul and risk a game-tying three-pointer in the game. I should note that Jen Buchanan's 29 points was a Division I career high for him and eclipsed 500 points for his career. His 6 assists ties his season high. Adameno notched his 7th career 20-point effort, tied his career high with 3 steals in San Diego State game. And A.G. Neto's 13 points was a career best in the loss against San Diego State. And just recently, they hosted Grand Canyon. I believe was for the first time in program history. And was a bit of a disappointment. Loss was 58-75. Again, another game where the officiating was questionable at best. There were multiple missed calls both ways, with some fouls, travel, stuff like that. There was a double tech on a dead ball between 2 players, one from each team. There was a flagrant called on Grand Canyon. Ultimately, officiating didn't cost the Broncos this game. Nope, just bad offensive play. Because Broncos lost this game 75-58. Grand Canyon advanced to 9-5 to 1 in conference play. Broncos dropped to 9-6, 1-3 in conference play. Vegas favored Broncos in this one, and I think the Ken Pom did as well. Broncos found themselves down 10 points at half, 37-27. Broncos would get down by as many as 18 points, but they went on a valiant rally. A comeback effort with about 7 minutes left. The Broncos whittled the deficit down to 4 points, but unfortunately they frizzled out a bit and still lost the game by 16 points or 17 points. Yeah, by 17. Same 558. They lost second half 38-31. Game was played in front of 8,806 fans. For Grand Canyon, for score number 10, Jaden Henley, 33 minutes, 9-15 from the floor, 0 for 3 from 3, 4-6 for Charity Stripe, 2 offensive, 6 total boards, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and 22 points. F.A. Demeril, number 17, 27 minutes played, 6 of 10 from the floor. Made his only free throw attempt, 3 offensive, 8 total boards, 3 fouls, 3 turnovers, 2 blocks, and 13 points. Number 11, Caleb Shaw, 26 minutes, 4-7 from the floor, 2 4 for 3, 0 for 1 from Charity Stripe, 4 boards, 3 fouls, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, 10 points. Number 31, Nana Owusu Anane, 38 minutes, 3-7 from the floor, 2 4 for 3, 1 offensive, 8 total boards, 2 fouls, 2 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals, and 8 points. Round out their starters was on 5, Brian Moore Jr., 21 minutes, 1-2 from the floor, 2 boards, 3 fouls, 3 assists, and 2 points. The Lopes bench, GCU's bench. Number 2, Makai Williams, 24 minutes, 6-12 from the floor, 2 5 3, 2-2 from Charity Stripe, 2 boards, 2 fouls. His second one was the flagrant. Was deemed a flagrant 1 foul. 1 turnover, 1 block shot, 3 steals, and 16 points. Number 8, Dusty Stolmer, 16 minutes, 1-4 from the floor, 0 for 2 for 3, 2-2 from Charity Stripe. 1 offensive, 3 total boards, 1 foul, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and 4 points. Number 32, Wilhelm Breidenbach, 13 minutes, 0 for 3 from the floor, with all 3-point attempts, 1 board, 4 fouls, including a technical. It was considered double technical on him and Drew Fielder, a little extracurriculars post play. 2 turnovers, 1 steal, no team shot. It was just double tech, and one team's got the ball. Number 22, Caleb Smith, 2 minutes and 1 foul and a block shot. Overall, the Lopes had 10 offensive, 38 total boards, 19 fouls, 11 assists, 12 turnovers, 6 block shots, 8 steals. Going to halftime, the Broncos had like 9 turnovers compared to like 6 for the Lopes, and Lopes had like a plus 10 rebound advantage at half. In terms of shooting wise, they were 15 of 37 from the floor in the first half for 40.5%, 2 of 13 from beyond the arc for 15%, and 5 of 6 from Charity Stripe. Second half, they were 15 of 23 from the floor for 65%, 4 of 8 from 3 for 50%, and 4 of 6 from Charity Stripe. Overall, the Lopes were 30 of 60 for 50% overall, 6 of 21 for 29%, and 9 of 12 from Charity Stripe for 75%. That means that on Saturday's home game against Utah State, you can get $6 tickets to the men's game in the balcony. They had 36 points of pain, 15 points off Bronco turnovers, 6 second chance points, 10 fast break points, and 20 bench points with 3 ties and 6 lead changes in this game. Bit of a colder night for Broncos, especially their more primary scorers. Of note, Liam Rice did change things up a little bit with the starting lineup. Every other game, except for this one, RJ Keene and Drew Fielder started. He decided to shake it up a bit to try to see if the offense would start better, because again, all 4 conference games so far, the Broncos have started off really cold. Again, they missed their first like 6 or 7 shots against Nevada start. Then against New Mexico, they missed their first 11 shots. Got down 8-0 early against New Mexico. Again, single stage, similar. Started really cold. Got down by as many as 24 because the offense wasn't working. This game again started cold. Their first points came off free throws after GCU went up 8-0. Again, we got our first free throws, and the first points came off of free throws near the first media timeout. So we again went about 4 minutes before we made our first point. Jeb Buchanan, 33 minutes of action, 5 of 12 from the floor, 1 of 5 from 3, and 7 of 10 from Charity Stripe. We'll love to see him become more efficient as a 3-point shooter. 3 boards, 1 foul, 2 turnovers, and 18 points. 2 pace of Broncos. And the medal was a bit of a non-factor in this game. We'd love to see him shooting the ball more and making them 2. He had 33 minutes. Only shot 2 field goals. Both 2s. Made both of them. It was 5% from 30 stripe. 1 offense and 2 total boards. 1 foul, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and 9 points. Need Andrew to be scoring at least 14 plus a game. AJ Neto, as a starter, had 33 minutes, 2 of 6 from the floor, 0 for 2 for 3 and 2 2 from 30 stripe, 1 board, 1 foul, 2 assists, 5 turnovers, 2 steals, and 6 points. He outplayed Dylan Andrews, who played 22 minutes, 0 for 4 for 3, 0 for 2 from beyond the arc, and 4 4 from 30 stripe, 4 boards, 1 foul, and 4 points. Donnie Perlin as a starter, over Drew Fielder, 18 minutes played, 0 for 3 from the floor, 0 for 2 from beyond the arc, 2-2 from the charity stripe, getting got our first 2 points of the game from the line. 1 offensive, 2 total boards, 1 foul, 1 assist, 1 block, 1 steal, and 2 points. Drew Fielder off the bench, 20 minutes, 4 of 9 from the floor, 2 of 2 from beyond the arc. 1 offensive, 3 total boards, 3 fouls, 1 assist, 1 block shot, and 10 points. Pino Carmichael, 24 minutes played, 3 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 4 for 3, 1 offensive, 5 total boards, 4 fouls, 2 assists, 3 steal, 3 turnovers, and 7 points. We'll love to see him be a little more consistent with scoring and making from distance. Spencer Ahrens played 9 minutes, was 1 of 5 from the floor, 0 for 2 for 3, 2 offensive, 3 total boards, 2 fouls, 2 turnovers, and only 2 points. RJ Keene off the bench, 6 minutes, 1 offensive, 3 total boards, 1 foul, and 1 turnover. Again, RJ game in, game out is consistently among our top defenders, especially rebounders, I should say. So maybe he should be the one that is starting still and leading the team in the second half too. Out of halftime, being one of the first 5, playing the best 5. And Bombom saw a minute of action and a foul. And Ethan Lathan saw a minute of action as well. Broncos only had 7 offensive, 28 total boards, 16 fouls, 6 assists, 14 turnovers, 2 block shots, and 4 steals. In the first half, the Broncos were really cold. 7 of 25 from the floor for 28%, 2 of 8 from beyond the arc for 25%, 11 of 12 from charity stripe for 92%. Second half, 10 of 24 from the floor for 42%. An abysmal 2 of 11 from beyond the arc for 18%, and 9 of 13 from the floor for 69%. Overall, 17 of 49 for 35%, 4 of 19 for 21% for 3, and 20 of 25 from charity stripe for 80%. 24 points of paint, 12 points off and up turnovers, 5 6 chance points, 11 fast break points, 19 points from the bench. As I mentioned, the Broncos have in the past few games, especially conference play, started really slowly on offense, taking like 3+ minutes to get our first points. And yes, we can make threes, but again, I think it's a bit of the offense strategy of Tim Duryea that is handicapping us a bit. He is more of just jacking up threes. I mean, again, this game we attempted 19 of them. Again, regulation of San Diego State, we jacked up like 31 threes and we made like 8 of them. Well, probably like 12, 31 if I remember correctly, something like that. But still, it's more vanilla. Probably 70% of the time we're just passing it around the top of the key, just doing screens high. Just mainly doing high screens and trying to get something open that is open around the perimeter from beyond the arc, but it's more verti. We're actually driving and attacking the rim. We're just doing an inside-out game where we're driving toward the rim, kicking outside with someone that's open. Majority of the time, we're just more ISO, just dribbling around the perimeter, passing the ball along the perimeter. And rarely are we actually pass the ball inside and trying to attack the rim, try to get like double teams down low so we can give someone that's wide open from outside. just shooting more in volume from 3-point range, hoping to hit instead of working for a great shot. That's why our offensive performance has been more lackluster. I think Duryea needs to change his offense philosophy, or maybe we need to, after the season, look past and look at our placement for Duryea. We also need Dylan Andrews to step up. Again, he has not had the best start of conference play. Looking at was noted that John Curl in this game was like negative 25 when it was on the floor, meaning that the Broncos were being outperformed by like 25 points by GCU, and Dylan Andrews was minus 29 when he was on the floor this game. And against conference foes, he's only at 4, 20, 24, 26 points in 4 games, so that's roughly about like 7 points a game. He's 5 of 34 overall from the floor, and from beyond the arc, he is 3 of like 18 in conference play. He's only made 3 threes out of 18 attempts in conference play, so his performance has really fallen off offensively. So we definitely need Dylan Andrews to become a scorer, because that's one of the things that going into the season people were saying and raving about him was that he's been like Marcus Shaver, someone who can shoot the ball well and hit some clutch shots. Well, to start conference play, he's been extremely cold and not reliable as a scorer. So we need him to start making his shots and making them count well, especially if we want to accomplish our goals, because at this point with this loss, really having to look at winning Vegas, because I think at this point our odds of being a large are shot at this point. Because again, like, we are probably favored by KenPom and Vegas in this game. Sitting 9-6 and 1-3 now conference play. Probably isn't going to help us out at all when we're trying to get in the large. As unfortunately, this team this year has been basically hit or miss. Pretty inconsistent, because again, we've beaten teams like Butler, St. Mary's, like Butler on the road, which was a huge road winner for the Broncos. A big neutral side road win against St. Mary's. And some nice road or home wins against like Utah Valley, who right now going to today is 74th in the net rankings. So that was a quad 2 home win. Going into this game, the Broncos were 44th in the net rankings, and Grand Canyon was 117th. So this is like a quad 2, maybe fringe quad 3 loss for the Broncos at home. Again, Boise State definitely fell massively. They're in the 40s, maybe 50s going this game. Boise State was ranked 51st going to this game. And afterward, they dropped 12 spots to 63rd in the KenPom. And Grand Canyon came in 101st into this game in KenPom and moved up to 93rd in KenPom. And I think originally, Grand Canyon was predicted by KenPom to lose if they jumped up 8 and we dropped 12 in this kind of performance. Yeah, so disappointing and a bad loss for the Broncos. Going forward for Grand Canyon, they play against San Jose State at home. Play in New Mexico again. They're favored by 12 at against San Jose. New Mexico's favored against them in New Mexico by 8. They're predicted to lose to Utah State at home by 5. Predicted to lose by 1 at home to San Diego State. Predicted to win at Fresno by 3. Predicted to lose by 5 at Nevada. Predicted now to beat the Broncos by 1 point. Again, I think the Broncos were probably favored by a few points going into this game. They're favored at home by 21 against Air Force. Favored to win by 3 on the road to UNLV. Favored to win by 1 home against New Mexico. Favored to win by 6 on the road at San Jose. Favored to lose. Or they're predicted to lose by 7 at San Diego State. Favored by 4 at home against Wyoming. Favored by 10 at home against UNLV. Or predicted to lose by 12 at Utah State. Favored to win by 13 at Air Force, and favored by 9 on their senior day game against Fresno. So, yeah, another one of those head scratch early and rise kind of games and one of those head scratching seasons where it's like, is this team really pretty good? I mean, they proved themselves to be really dang good enough to beat, a team like Butler or St. Mary's, but also they have these kind of losses like at home against Grand Canyon. Hawaii Pacific, on the road at San Diego State where, they played pathetically in the first half, but made a comeback and lost in overtime. So again, this is a pretty inconsistent team this year. I mean, they've definitely proven that they are pretty dang talented and they can beat anyone. They treat like a big game, but when they don't, they can shoot themselves in the foot and lose some pretty winnable games. Or games they probably should win. So, hopefully this team can really figure out their identity and can really get it going because they got a big time home game on Saturday when they will host Utah State. Then they play at UNLV. Then they host Colorado State next Saturday or next Friday night. So getting a big against Utah State on Saturday. Now every game is a bit of a must win. I mean, they definitely have to improve massively, including the coaching standpoint. Because at this point, because of these losses, I think at this point they're out of contention to make the NCAA tournament as a large team. And they'll be having to basically win in Vegas, win the conference tournament in Vegas to make the NCAA tournament. I mean, this team definitely has the capability to be a tournament team, but again, it's just a consistency, game in, game out, and competing like one. They have yet to do that. Again, they've beaten pretty good teams like Butler and St. Mary's, but again, they also have these real head-scratching kind of games too. I mean, speak of Butler right now in KenPom. Butler is 56 in the nation. They're 10-6. St. Mary's right now is 28th in KenPom at 15-2. Again, we are St. Mary's the last loss. Now St. Mary's is 23rd in the NCAA. Net rankings, Butler is 52nd. So again, that's a quality win for the Broncos right now. They're 10-6 right now. So I mean, potentially 2 quad wins for the Broncos, and yet squandered a good opportunity at San Diego State, and mainly because of pathetic starts to the game for the Broncos, and pretty inconsistent play overall, especially offensively. They can really get it going. They can get together. They can really find their true identity and who they want to be. They can consistently play like they did against Butler and St. Mary's and treat every game like those games. This team can be damn tough to beat. But again, they take a little more relaxed or easier, like they did tonight, or especially they keep starting games pretty pathetically in offense, or like they did against Hawaii Pacific to start the year. You know, this could very well be a year where they are playing in like the college basketball crown again, or in the NIT, or a worse one. You know, still not really certain what this team really wants to be, what to do, and if they'll be really good enough to win the conference this year. I believe they can, but they got to figure shit out. They got to figure stuff out. They got to figure it out ASAP, because this is a gauntlet, and their non-West is a gauntlet and a beast of a conference. They have to really play better and really get their act together on offense. Again, Leon tried to mix things up a bit with the starters, try to see if he can spark something offensively, but again, a poor start to the game offensively, and at points throughout the game, and results in a loss. I mean, yes, Grand Canyon in the second half did start applying a 2-1-2 zone, which we're not really used to, obviously, but still, there were opportunities that maybe they could have executed a little better, really drilled a little more against it, worked more inside, and again, there were times where there were double teams in that second half, even when they were playing the zone. We had guys wide open, but we never got them the ball. Who knows? More that happens, maybe it's a different outcome. Maybe it's a close game, maybe a much different outcome. So, either way, Broncos still have a lot to figure out about themselves, and really have had to play at the level team of the caliber team that beat Butler, especially conference play. So, hopefully they can get their ship righted on Saturday when it comes to playing Utah State. Now this could be a long conference season, and unfortunately maybe a ship or a short trip to Vegas for the men's team this year. Again, they're so inconsistent. One game they play good, next game like crap, and hopefully they can get their act together.